All right. I think I hit the button. Yeah, I hit the button. Welcome everybody. Another week, another episode of Game Set Live GSL. Oh, well, I tell you what, we do have some topics. Believe it or not, we got some topics, but not that many. It's I hate this time of year.
So do
Don't you guys
I.
hate this time of year?
I can't stand it.
Oh, I mean, it's just like, don't be surprised if the show's an hour long. I'm just saying. Because I'm not going to fill it with stuff nobody wants to listen to.
Yeah, I
20
hear you.
minutes, 20 minutes episode. Let's go.
All right. Well, got a full. We actually minus Assassin Lupa. Update on Assassin Lupa. She did well through 18 hours of brain surgery.
Oh, thank goodness.
Wow. Yeah.
She
Awesome.
is being kept in stasis
Prayers with her,
in
man.
critical or intensive care. And the surgeon said that these next 3 days are very, very important. So everybody, keep her in your thoughts, keep her in your prayers, if that's your thing, and hopefully she comes back to us the same wicked, kick-ass woman we all know and love. But besides that, um, I've got the dream. Well, it's the dream panel for me. Uh, Mr. Bushido, who last week agreed to be a member. How are
Good
you,
day,
brother?
all.
What
Good
you
day,
been
good
playing?
day. I have been really, really playing nothing but Outriders World Slayer.
Dick Riders? Is that what you said, Dick Riders?
No. I don't know where you heard that one from. But it's Outriders.
Out,
Outriders.
out
Yes.
of nowhere.
OUT. Yes. Out.
I'm
Out. Not,
sorry. It kind of garnered that nickname at launch with all the multiplayer connection issues.
oh, you ain't kidding. It's come a long way. It's a better game. You know, it's funny. It still has connection issues. Let's say 1 out of 10 times I'll play, but it's not like you can't get back in. So in other words, you can try to get in and say party fail. You try it again, and then you get in. So it'll happen still, but not like it was before. It was a horrible broken mess.
I'm really glad to hear that because I loved Outriders. I've got World Slayer. Haven't got a chance to play it yet, though. I've not had a day off since last Wednesday.
Do you have to be do you have to be like a top level character to jump into World Slayer or whatever, or can you be like a? Do you have to finish the main campaign or something?
Yeah, just finished the main campaign, and as far as I know, I'm gonna test that one out too because I have a trickster. I have a trickster I haven't played with since I think level 15, and I want to see if it jumped me to 50. That's what I was told that would happen. So I'm gonna see if that happens. But for the most part, though, no, you just jump right in the World Slayer and finish the 2-hour campaign, and that's it.
Is World Slayer part of Game Pass? Like, is that like a update?
No,
No, you have to
no,
purchase. You have to purchase that.
yeah, it's a separate expansion. Yeah,
How much is it?
$40.
$40. Okay.
Yeah, after taxes and everything, it'll be like $38.
Okay, not bad. I mean, the game itself is in Game Pass, so that's a great entry. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's not like it's a free to play. You know what I mean? Like whenever they
right,
put like my equivalency, I guess, would be like Destiny. I play a lot of Destiny, so like
right,
back when they had Beyond Light as a part of Game Pass, I always thought that was
right.
a
I
huge
remember that
win.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm
remember
saying? Like
too. Yep.
having those DLCs, was a huge win and got a lot of people that were in Game Pass playing Destiny. So
It
but
is
then they
still a
went,
huge
yeah.
win for one reason, because you still need the original game. So with it still being in Game Pass, at least you don't have to buy the original game again and then
Right.
buy World Slayer. So that's a good
Right.
part.
It's akin to, I would say, like maybe Elder Scrolls Online or something. Like you have the base
Right.
game.
Good point.
It's up
Good
to
point.
you what you want to put in there. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. As soon as I get some time off, we're gonna hook up and we're gonna kick some ass. in World Slayer.
Hey,
I
I'm
haven't
always
finished- I
on. So
haven't
just,
finished- But
hey, I can help you run through the new campaign
like
because
World
I got.
Tour 15 now.
Is this the one
Yeah.
character you have, or okay? I can help you run through that with that one. It's cool.
No, I got 4 characters, but only one is top world tier and top level.
Yeah, like I said, I still got the trickster too. So either way, if you need help, I got you.
Nice. We're gonna have to do that Sunday. Yep,
Oh, absolutely.
it's my next off. And the Brazilian monster, the one that pays too much for it seems like everything. Fabio,
Yeah, thank you.
how
Thank you for
you
noticing.
been, and what independent game have you been playing?
Independent game? Ah, for fuck's sake. No, I haven't played any indie games. I'm so sorry about that. I've only played Halo Infinite. That's all I managed to play, but because of college and stuff. By the way, I just want to point out, great day to be a Carolina Panthers fan, and horrible
Hey,
day,
let's
day to be a
go.
Cleveland Browns fan. Horrible day to be a Cleveland Browns fan. I don't know. Is
You
there a Cleveland Browns
brought
fan
that
here?
up because you know I'm a Cleveland
Yes.
Browns fan.
Yes, of course. Of course.
When I
yes.
saw we got for Baker Mayfield, I was so upset. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
You make sure to enjoy that conditional 5th round pick of 2024, my
Oh
friend.
God.
Congrats.
They
That's
literally
conditional.
gave him away.
Busted shoulder, and they just gave him to us for a couple of picks here and there. I'm loving it.
And
That's
again,
conditional.
That's amazing.
5th round pick. Really?
Yeah,
Wait a second. Powerman, are you a Carolina Panthers fan?
yeah. I'm from North
Really?
Carolina.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy
H. Carolina. Yeah, he should be.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay,
what
that's the
makes
end
me
of the
mad
friendship
is that
between Bob and Powerman.
you know what they saw as more enticing than Baker Mayfield, who, when he was healthy, stomped the Steelers, made it to the divisional round in the playoffs.
Yep.
And then this past year, barely missed the playoffs because he played with an injured shoulder
Yeah, busted.
from week 3. What did they see in the market better than that man? A man who's got 22 civil cases against him right now and probably will not play for the next
Yeah.
year and a half.
Yeah.
Well
I
done.
mean,
Yeah, I really don't know what they were thinking in Cleveland with that, man.
Huge-
Like that.
Huge
was a
congrats to all
huge
all
L.
involved.
At
Huge
the very
congrats.
least, he'll miss one season. At the very least. At the very least.
Look
And
at
that's
the bright
at the
side.
least.
Look at the bright side. Finally, Carolina Panthers can do something.
Oh, man.
Hey, easy,
welcome
okay?
to Game
Easy.
Set Live, where we talk about sports, movies, TV shows, video games, and anything else we happen to have on our
Some
Yeah.
of
minds
them,
at that
them
moment.
vidgy games.
Video games. What do you mean about? What do you
Video
mean
games. I
about?
love my video games.
We say
What?
anything with the word game in it.
Like, wait a minute. The game set life, for what I know, is about American football. Never mind the Xbox logo over there, but okay.
So Fabio, you said you've been playing Infinite. Is that
Yes.
campaign multiplayer? You working through that
Multiplayer.
season?
Multiplayer. Yes, not necessarily the season, but the events that is going on right now.
What's
The
that
creation.
event going on right now?
It's like the one with the samurai one, but it's other rewards. And
Hmm?
no, it's
Oh, really?
What's going on?
yeah, it's other rewards, but it's not a fiesta. It's a new game mode called Entrenched.
Oh yeah.
Wow. I remember hearing about that one.
I got
Yeah,
turn
it
that
has
shit
some.
on.
It has some really nice cosmetics. I gotta say, really enjoyed that. But for fuck's sake, each time that I play Halo Infinite, it just makes me think, what the hell is 343 doing right now? God damn it!
Now, is that
I hate to
because
say it, but I've jumped on that
343 is
bandwagon.
faltering, or because you suck at Halo?
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do suck at Halo. That's a fact. But when it comes to all the content that all the Halos had and all the things that you think in previous installments, that part, this feature was way better, and then And then it makes me a bit sad. But yeah, there we go. I am having fun, at least.
That's it.
Awesome. Now, the man who's been on hiatus, Mr. Power Man 4K. I'm sure not only myself, but the community wants to know how are
What are
you
you
doing,
again?
and what have you been playing for the last 8 weeks?
Well, guys, it is a pleasure to be back finally. Back we're at home on Game Set Live on Thursdays with my Xbox brethren. Hey, listen, the last few weeks have been a little crazy. Hey, life, gets in the way, and you got to do what you got to do. Family first. I, did a job move and setting up schedules and trying to figure stuff out. Been doing a lot of that, but man, I have been doing a lot of gaming. So I've been doing a career on F1 2021, getting ready for 22 via Game Pass, and that's been a lot of fun. I've actually really enjoyed that game. I've been playing One Piece World Seeker and going through that game. I'm going to try to get all the achievements on that game. I would say not the greatest game, but it is for sale for like $8. So I think for $8, it's a decent One Piece game. You know what I mean? So been playing a little bit of that, and now that I'm hearing about Outriders, I'm probably going to start leveling up my character on Outriders after this show. Actually,
Dude, as a trickster and Outriders, it's not even fair. It's nasty.
yeah, that's the one that teleports around, right, in the bubble.
Yes.
And all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's cool. Like I was playing the fire guy for a while, and he was all right.
Oh, Pyro.
Yeah.
Yep, Pyro. Well, I have been playing. Let's see, Age of Empires on
Let's see.
my Age
He's
of
got a
Empires on my
grabs the list.
PC a lot.
Yep, he has the list.
I've been taking advantage of xCloud, Xbox game streaming. I've been playing a lot of What Remains of Edith Finch. I've been playing Resident
How's it-
Evil 2 remake
how-
on
How's
Xbox.
Xbox been playing for you?
Is it funny you should bring that up because I got a whole story behind that. So a
Ah,
couple years
Jesus.
ago when I got my iPhone 11,
Right.
the modem sucked. And so I wasn't really impressed with xCloud. And then I come to find out that the iPhone didn't have the right modem in it at the time because Qualcomm didn't like them. And now I got a 13 and it's amazing. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not playing multiplayer, but I am playing a story driven game and I'm not experiencing any lag in my controls or anything. So
Nice.
I'm happy because I'm not really looking to play multiplayer. Because when you're playing xCloud, what you really want to do is be able to hop into something, pause, save, and get out when you got to get out because life happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it has given me that ability, and my hat's off. xCloud really did, and I wasn't even on 5G. I was on LTE. It was great.
That sounds good.
I mean, the only thing that could have made it better is if I was using like an iPad instead of an iPhone, because yes, it's still a small screen. But other than that, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
And I have also been playing the brand new. Y'all remember the old MX and ATV games?
Yeah.
Well, the new
Wow.
one that's out, MX versus ATV Legends. It came out 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago. It is for real. You can get in on a dirt bike or a four-wheeler in first person and fly around these tracks.
Oh,
And
yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that last week.
yeah, it is exhilarating, dude. I mean, when you're flying down I mean, because you're in first person, and then you lean back and you load your shocks up right before you head off the ramp, and then you unload them just as you hit the top of the ramp, and you go flying through the air. And all this is in first person. All you can see is a little bit of your handlebars and the front fender. It is, dude. It's a rush. It's awesome. I recommend it
that's
to
my list.
anybody.
Then you said Legends.
Yes, it's called MX versus ATV Legends. It came out, I believe, about 10 days ago.
Okay. Yeah, I'm adding it to the list right now.
Dude, it's pretty
Yeah, I've
good.
always eyeballed those MX, those like motocross games. You know what I mean? I just never put the trigger on one, but if that was
I've had a couple. They're good. They're really good games. They're really enjoyable. I like them.
I will say that I couldn't figure out how to shift, so I set it to automatic.
Well, you didn't have to confess that on the air, Bobby.
Yeah.
Well, I had played it for like an hour, and I finally figured out that I was in first gear the whole time, and that's why I was losing
because
matches.
they were lapping you. That sounds like you're say. You're like, I think my tires need air or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I found
man.
out that it's also detrimental to your equipment because, yes, only being in first gear, but I was still keeping up the first couple laps. But then the last lap, I was like, why aren't I going as fast as I was going? And it's because my bike was saying, dude, I'm done. Please. You're revving me out at like 8,000 RPMs. Let go.
Oh, man.
Just let me die. Please.
Yeah, let him die in peace.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Chad, let me know. Have you all enjoy the MX ATV games? I used to look at them as it was stupid fun. It was something I could just kind of veg out to and get easy achievements. But this new one with first person camera, it's for real. I mean, we're talking about sliding through corners, and you are right. You're seeing every bit of that on your TV screen. You're not just in third person. It's pretty wild. I recommend it to anybody. But chat, let us know if you're into that sort of game. And if you like what you hear, and next week when I will have gameplay because I have something set up, like what you see, share it out to a buddy or two, and subscribe to the channel. It helps out more than you know.
That's it. That's the end of the podcast. Bye bye, guys.
I haven't even brought up my
we just sent the message. That's it. When you say like, share, and subscribe, it's because it's the end of it.
Dude, you're lucky you're in Brazil. If you were next door, I'd be throwing shit at you right now.
Oh, man. Like, share, and subscribe.
There we go. There you go.
So, first on the topic list, I have a message for everybody. This message is from Xbox, and it is see you in 12 months.
Oh,
I have a message from a message from PlayStation, and that message says, "I'll see you on November 9th." That's right, everybody. We have got a concrete release date finally, after the developers have gotten all the dick pics they could handle. We got a
I'm telling you, I think that's what helped it.
I'm over the edge, bro. Hey,
I'm telling you, that's what exactly, Fabio. That's what got it done. That's what got it done.
They did it. They did it.
What? They got a day and a half later. Day and a half later, they got a
Yep.
date.
Exactly.
Wait a second. They actually managed to announce a release date for the new God of War because of the dick pics. I'm sending dick pics to Microsoft right now. Wait a second.
Listen, we're not gonna
Right?
co-sign. We're not gonna
It's like, how
co-sign
many
anybody
dick pics
doing
do I have
that.
to send you for Starfield? Starfield in October. How many do I have to send you? Do I have to send you some butt pussy pics too? I'll send those too.
He says signatures.
No, just kidding. But once again, we stand for everything that we talked about last week. Like this is horrible. Don't do that, for the love of God. And huge congrats to Ceremonial Studios for being able to. Okay, we are at a stage where we can actually announce a release date. Awesome.
Well, not only that, Fabio, but Santa Monica Studios has done it in the same fashion they did God of War 2018.
Mhm.
4 months before release, God
Huh.
of War 2018 was announced and the release date was given. And here we are, 4 months from November 9th,
Uh-huh.
and they have given us the release date of November 9th for Ragnarok. So Santa Monica Studios,
Huge congrats. Really?
huge congrats. I mean, you can actually, yet to be seen, but announce a release date and make that release date.
No,
I mean,
it's just let's be
Nobody's gonna thank the guy who was sending the meat pics. Nobody's gonna
no, fuck off
which
that
or the
guy.
guy? I
team
mean, I think there was
or
like
team.
200 of them.
I mean, it could have been J-Tech. It could have been J-Tech and J-Tech. So, I'm thinking
Yeah,
of J-Tech.
you're just
Yeah.
thinking
That's,
about
that's
that
what I'm
guy.
going with.
No, fuck the whoever you are. Fuck you. Whoever
Hey,
you are.
listen, Fabio,
If
listen. He
if you
actually has proven it works. A few days after it was announced that he sent those, you get an announcement.
no, I'm
I
standing
don't
with
know, man. The proof's in the pudding.
I'm standing with the devs on this one. For fuck's sake. Poor studio. Poor cinematic.
Oh man,
So, I
no,
don't know.
on some real stuff though. That was foul, but
No,
it's just funny to me. It's just funny to me and ironic that the guy gets what he wants, and inside of a demented mind like his, or yeah, well, it had to be his. He would think that it worked. You just
like
can't tell me that.
yeah,
If you're gonna send me pics, you can't tell me the person like that wouldn't think to themselves, it worked.
someone would definitely think it was because of me that
Yep, it was because of me. Everybody thanked me, and you know what? I'm gonna keep a look out for that on social media because you know
the
what?
same
A guy like that would look for his clout too.
like the same way as when Xbox announced the Bethesda acquisition, some PlayStation fanboys were so you gotta
Oh
thank
yeah, that's right.
for
Thank us
Trap
too.
X
That's
because
right.
just because of that they decided to buy something.
Yep,
Like sake.
I remember
Just
that.
makes no sense. But again, huge congratulations to Santa Monica Studios. Just it's not it's not like all the it's not like every studio is capable of suffering something like that, but actually manage it to work and actually deliver. I
Yeah.
think it's quite amazing. Now, I am curious, are they going to try to do something like that with Naughty Dog until they release The Last of Us Factions? Are they going to do something like that? The multiplayer
Oh, if
mode?
it comes up again, I'll be no good.
Are we
Oh,
going to have?
Let's not forget too. God of War was supposed to have been released in 2021. I think it was. So
Yeah,
it's not
it
like
was.
they,
You're not supposed
yeah,
to
it
bring
got
that
pushed back.
up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but still.
Now, I
No,
I
like,
did call this 3 or 4
mhm.
weeks ago on this show. I can't remember who I had. I think it was the week after I had Dealer on. I think it was the week I had Noof Nukem on. And we brought up the fact whether or not we thought with all the delays we've seen from Xbox, whether or not we would see the only thing on the roadmap for PlayStation yet to be released, Ragnarok, whether or not we would see that. And it was a 50-50 split. Me on the 50-50 side of I think it's not going to be delayed. I think they're going to make it. And this is the reason I gave, because they were quiet. You didn't hear anything about God of War Ragnarok. You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything, which told me there was a room or a floor full of developers with their heads down, and every time they looked up, they got something thrown at them, and they're going to make that date. Yeah, definitely.
I still think you're forgetting the fact that they did push it back already once. So it's not like it wasn't pushed back. We just forget about it because no one else talked about it. Remember, because PlayStation fanboys, not PlayStation fans a PlayStation fanboy, whenever something happens, it's always for the betterment of the game. But when it's Xbox, it's always management. It's always an issue with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm on that tip when it comes to 343 right now. I am starting to get on that bandwagon. But anything and everything else, when it comes to Xbox, it's always management, and I think that's always overblown. But we forget a lot of times when it comes to PlayStation. I think because they deliver most of the time. So.
Goodness gracious, Fabio! I see why you don't have a PlayStation.
Yep.
Denver said $75 for the regular version of God of War Ragnarok in Brazil.
$75, which is equivalent to, considering all the taxes and stuff.
Yeah, that was a great thing.
Something like what, 400 Brazilian reais? Yeah, something like that.
That's a monthly
What's
salary
that
for one
translate
game.
to in American?
Jeez.
What,
Yeah.
how much is that American after taxes? Like what would you pay?
$75.
$75.
Yeah, something like that.
That's crazy.
Something.
That just goes to show you that that listen, like the average, however money making American or what have you, is not the only person that exists on this planet, man. There are people in this world that want a deal and want the best value, right? And that's why everybody seems to be so shocked that Xbox is still out here selling consoles, that they're not getting beat 2-1, right? They're not getting beat into the dirt, like everybody said, whenever in November of 2020, when the PS5 released with the Series consoles. The Series S is selling like crazy in Japan. It has the highest sales. It's already beat the Xbox One generation. Now, it's already beat it. Like it's already surpassed the Xbox One in sales.
I think it's doubled. I think it's more than doubled now, or close to triple. Yeah,
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's examine why. And listen, to be fair, I'm not sure if Microsoft saw this coming, but man, they really walked into a gold mine, because the Series S is small, sleek, it is powerful for what you get for it, and listen, other markets they're not like America. They don't like big, bulky, giant, powerful items. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like you look at a car, right? What do they make? They make sleek, fast, tight turning, 4-cylinder turbocharged vehicles versus America, big block, V8, lifted truck. You know what I mean? Bigger the better type mentality. The rest of the world and how you invade that market is you bring something to them that makes sense to them, and you add value in a worldwide economic market right now that is struggling. You know what I mean? I can't imagine people who want to kick off some games, right? Like God of War, a lot of people are going to go out there and buy this game 100%. That's I'm not going to go out there and say that. They're going to buy it. It's cross-generation. So there are plenty of people right now that still don't have PS5s, and they're going to purchase that game. But my point is they're looking at it from a value perspective, and they say, okay, well, I can't afford to do that more than once or twice a year. You know what I mean? Like your average person has to genuinely think about a $75 purchase and say, okay, like, am I gonna get this or am I gonna get that? Like, they're not gonna go in there, drop $400 at a time. You know what I mean? So that's where Game Pass comes in. That's when a cheaper Xbox comes in, $299. You know what I mean? I'm super surprised that PlayStation might have something in the footwork in the $299 range, because that seems to be the sweet spot. That's why the Nintendo Switch is doing so well. That $299 is like that. It's like an impulse buy at Walmart, right? Like that's low enough that you could go to Walmart and say, you know what, I'm gonna pick up an Xbox today. You know what I mean? Instead of saying, all right, I'm gonna get a Series X if you can find one. That's $500. You know what I mean?
Especially during tax time and everything else.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
And you got to think about people with families. Like, for instance, I have 3 children. Listen, I love my kids, but I ain't gonna go out there and buy them PlayStation 5s. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But I got them each one of them a Series S, right? Because
same thing. I did the same thing.
You know what I mean? And like they play their Fortnite, they play their Minecraft, and they're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's a win-win.
So I'm just curious about one thing when it comes to God of War Ragnarok. November the 9th, you said, right?
Yes. That is actually a Norse
Oh,
holiday.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
That's
Awesome.
better than 11/11.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But like, is it going to be eligible for Game of the Year? Because I mean, Forza Horizon 5 was released in November the 5th, and it wasn't because of reasons it wasn't a valid candidate for Game of the Year. So how
Oh,
about that? God of War coming.
do you know
What's
how
gonna
tight
happen?
Keeley and PlayStation is? I mean, come on.
Yeah, like I recall, I saw some prints, and I'm like, please tell me this is a fake account because it seems that Jeff Keighley. I hope it's a fake account. I don't know if it's really him saying that the date is another.
I heard it's
Games
November
released
15th.
like games released until November 19th are
Oh,
going to be
19th.
valid candidates for Game of the Year. Like I'm like, what the? Please tell me this is a fake account. Like last
No,
year you
I
were
heard the
saying
same
one
thing
thing,
too.
and now you are saying another thing. Seriously?
That would
So
be
so
lame though.
so last year it was the cutoff was November 19, right? That was the cutoff,
Yes.
No,
and
no, it was another.
and Halo dropped
It was it was
November
before.
15th, right? Correct.
Yeah,
It was
it was
before.
before Forza. Remember?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was before Forza. That's why Forza wasn't eligible for Game of the Year.
It still got an audio
No, no, no. I'm sorry. It
nomination
is
though.
Halo. No, I'm sorry. It was Halo. I'm sorry
Was it?
because Forza. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Forza was eligible, but people just didn't vote for it, and everyone was
That's
upset that
right.
it
We were
didn't.
all mad because it got
Yeah,
snuffed.
yeah,
Ah, okay, okay.
yeah. No, no. Me, you got it backwards. It was.
Really?
It's we're
Was it
thinking about
already?
Halo. What was Halo's
Was it
release date then? You might remember what Halo's release date was?
It was November 25th.
Okay.
I remember multiplayer came out. They announced multiplayer at Gamescom, and we got to play multiplayer in the very beginning of November. But we had to wait for the campaign until December.
I'm going to have to look that up again though
And
to see
here
when
we were,
what
and
year's
here
release, what the
how
cutoff date was last year.
and how funny was that at that time we were thinking, this is a beta, awesome. Then the new content must be huge when the game gets released with the campaign.
Hmm.
Ah,
It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. Like what I'm gonna be curious about is what we see. Um, what are we gonna see from the Game Awards as far as this game? Are we gonna see Halo anywhere in there? You know what I'm saying? Because
no,
listen,
I don't know.
it scored 87 meta. You know what I mean? I still think the campaign is solid. I still think that the game's backbone is there, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's just there. Like the problem is like
Yeah, the problem.
Halo Infinite. Promised a lot and didn't deliver. I don't know what's going on with 343, and like I've been very vocal and very loud about it. I don't know if it's improper management or somebody's making the wrong calls here, and I'm hoping that these new guys that are coming back in that are ex Bungie devs and they can work with Staten to revive it. You know what I'm saying? So I hope the best because I really do think that the game itself is smooth, right? It plays well.
Oh yeah, the campaign
Yeah,
is fire.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
core.
The
No,
campaign
no,
was super fun,
no,
So
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The core elements of Halo are there, like, and it's really good. I do enjoy a lot Halo Infinite. I actually love it. I'm just really disappointed by the fact that like it's been how many months has it been since the game was released? Like 6 months, and like we still haven't got so many core multiplayer modes as well as core features. Like I mean custom games or enough community interaction to make the game to stand out as it was in the past because let's be honest, it wasn't just the work that the devs put in the game that made Halo become Halo. It was a community making machinimas. It was a community making custom games. It was the community you making Forge. It was a community playing Infection. Features that are either not working or just not there. And we
I
are like,
agree.
okay, when is this going to get released? We don't know. Like, and we are like, okay, why you don't know? How you don't know?
How do you
Yeah,
have
I
such a
just
lack of content?
That's
very
the
It's
hands
problem.
up.
I don't hate at all. I don't hate at all. Like, um, 343. I really hope that 343 actually proves themselves to be able to make the game that we actually wanted when it got released. But so far they have been quite disappointing. I'm sorry. I need to be vocal about
No,
that.
yeah. Listen, that's here's this is the difference of what separates what I feel as that we're genuine fans of the brand, and these rabid Sony fans that like honestly sometimes make me embarrassed to say I own a PS5 is because it literally they can do no wrong. Sony does no wrong. Nothing that they do is bad. And listen, I understand. Listen, Sony has a W in 2022. Let's just get that right. But let's also not forget that in holiday 2021 they had nothing. They had nothing.
yep,
Xbox dropped Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite, and PlayStation had nothing. And they had nothing for months until they got Horizon Forbidden West, which, mind you, was a delayed game, right? It was delayed into
and
20
still came out broken.
and still
Still
came
came
and
out a
literally up
broken mess.
until I think up until just now they finally fixed
Yeah,
all the nuances and all the little whatever's right that's come along with it. So that being said, now I mind you I say 2021 holiday. I know that they did have a couple of releases beforehand. I think it was Returnal, and maybe something else. But my point is, it's like we know Xbox needs to really like these moments in history where we're going so long without first party content. It absolutely needs to go away, and I do believe it is. When the dam ruptures, when the onslaught starts, I don't believe it's going to stop. But what I
yeah,
do think is happening right now is I think Xbox is like laser focused on closing this deal with Activision Blizzard, right? I think that they have multiple projects. I think that they were still feeling the effects of the pandemic over there stronger than other parts of the world. People don't understand that like it affected the West Coast a lot harder, the shutdowns and the quarantines and the people working remote. A lot more people were doing that on that side of the country, at least from what I understand. I've reached out to several people that I know in that area. You know what I'm saying? And they've said that hey, listen, like it was like crazy. Like everybody's working remote. Nobody's nobody's mocap. Nobody's doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
But
that
I mean,
alone, and we don't know how far along these games were and how far, and at least
right.
Xbox is being honest. We know that we're not getting anything until spring 2023, but that doesn't mean that we can't get good Game Pass deals. And I'm really hoping that over the holiday, they need something to go out there against God of War Ragnarok and convince people to buy an Xbox. And the
like
only thing that I can think of is like a bombshell Game Pass deal or anything, or maybe even a price drop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like put the Series S at $249 with 6 months of Game Pass included or something. You know what I mean? And make
That
make
would
those
Yeah.
parents
crush.
have to make that decision between
That would
spending.
crush.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would really crush.
$5. Yeah, exactly.
like
Hey,
like
shout out to Risk It for the biscuit in the chat.
Hey,
The one I have up on
Mike.
what
the
up?
one I have up on screen. It took everything I had in me not to lose my shit and start laughing my ass off live right
What
now
he
when I
say?
read that.
wait a second. We were
Oh,
you
now I
were
gotta go and look.
didn't we already make this
He
joke
said
a
pee
few
pee.
minutes
He
ago?
said pee pee.
Just because of that, really? Okay.
Oh
Okay.
man, that's funny as
But like
hell.
what I'm really curious, is because I do understand the pandemic really affected everyone and of course those studios. But I mean, when it comes to the point of okay, I will have to sadly put Rare in this situation right now because I understand Rare is my favorite studio of all time. Rare
Really?
to me, yes, Rare
Wow,
is everything
interesting.
to me. You can be sure that if Microsoft ends up selling Rare to anyone, I don't give a damn. I will buy that console and I will become a fanboy of that console because of Rare. That's it.
Okay.
Simple as that. And but like, here's the thing. When it comes to the point where okay, we have this game, do you have what do you have ready for the game? We know the visuals, we got an idea, but do you know how to implement the idea? No. You got any idea of what the mechanics are going to how the mechanics are going to work? No. You got a release date? No. How much progress did you made about this? Not much. But either way, we are going to announce it at XO 19. I'm talking about Everwild. Like, you mean, don't get me wrong, I am excited because Rare is working on new things, on new IPs, and like I really I was really thinking that with the beginning of Sea of Thieves and Everwild and Battletoads and Perfect Dark, we were going back to the silver age of Rare, where we had games like Red by the Ghoulies, Conquer, Live and Reloaded, Cameo Elements of Power, Perfect Dark Zero, as well as Jetpack Refuel and Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. That is what I consider as the silver age of Rare. And it seems that that's not much the case at all right now because what do we have ready? What do we have ready? Okay, Battletoads, we had that. It was fun, it was awesome, nice, but it didn't have online multiplayer during a pandemic. That's a negative point. And Everwild, we have no idea when it's going to be released or if it is going to be released at all because Microsoft can someday out of nowhere just cancel the entire project. And we got Perfect Dark with no release date and no gameplay at all. So like I'm thinking to myself, okay, if you were in such an early stages of the game, why are you announcing it?
Yeah, I was
Because
thinking the
that's
same
what they
thing,
do.
and that's what. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I think. Why I think that they made this big stink about being this only 12-month out show. I think that they know internally that a lot of their projects that they've announced are a lot further out than we are thinking or that they are thinking. You know what I mean? I don't expect to see anything from Everwild for the next couple of years. I don't think that we expect to see anything from Fable over the next couple of years or Perfect Dark. And these are major, major franchises.
I don't know. I think we
I'm,
see something on Fable
you think so? You
within a
think
year.
so?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been in development for a little
I'm
bit.
thinking 2024. That was my guess. My guess
You
would be like
Now, when you say
E3
see
2024.
anything, do you mean like trailer or
Yeah.
announcement?
So like everything we saw in this last showcase, right? If you okay,
Hmm.
they said everything is 12 is 12 months and less, right?
Right, right.
So we're looking at June 2023 and we saw nothing from these studios. So my guess is something that large like Fable, like Everwild or something from Rare, something internally. Like they're not going to drop that in an Xbox Wire post. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's going in a big show. Love them or hate them, they love the wait for these big shows. So my guess would be June 2024. We start to see major, major content from these people. Now I could be wrong, and we could see something June 2023 major, and they could be putting in work. I'm just saying. I'm just being realistic. I think that Hellblade, Starfield, and then I think next up would be Hellblade. I think that's probably the closest thing to being like ready to go. And hopefully, I'm hoping that the coalition is hard at work on Gear 6 because I was adamant on saying that it needed to take a break, but I retract that statement. I think that a fresh next generation Series X enhanced like monster Gears game would make a huge splash on Xbox right now and be the game that we could use for like next year into like and showcasing the console because as of right now we have a lot of cross generation titles, and although Xbox is in my opinion taking that next leap into the next generation harder, right? We've seen more games that have not had an Xbox One logo on them than we have that are just saying they're just next generation. Hopefully Forza Motorsport is that wow factor as well. So I know that stuff's coming. It's just it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be really hard. You know, especially in this holiday season and seeing stuff like God of War Ragnarok and stuff like that. You know, Indiana Jones, for instance, like a lot of these titles that we're hearing about. You know, could be, I would say, at least a year and a half out. You know what I mean?
Like I think that's a different situation because at least for what it seems, again, we don't know the real picture, we don't know the real situation with all of those studios. But when it comes to a game like what I was talking about, Everwild, where they announced the game, they showed a trailer, two trailers where it was in engine and in game. That is the graphic of the game, but you have not even the devs have any idea of how the game is gonna work, what
Well,
you can do in the game.
That was the problem.
It kind of
Yeah.
they
there is
redid
a
that game,
yeah,
by the
no,
way.
yeah,
don't get
they
me
didn't
wrong,
know
and
what the
don't get
game
me wrong,
was. That's
They
and
the
went
don't get
back
me
to
crazy
the
part.
wrong,
drawing
and
board
don't get me wrong, and don't
after
get me
that
wrong.
video.
And don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, I love Rare still. I still think Sea of Thieves is awesome. I still think Rare is an amazing studio, has a lot of talent in it. I don't care if a lot of people from the past left the studio. For me, Rare with Sea of Thieves is back doing Rare games and not Kinect
Yeah.
games, which was in the past. But
Listen.
like,
Sea of Thieves
and
started off rough, but I don't even play the game like that. But I can obviously see that game is constantly in the top of the Steam charts. It's constantly in the Xbox most played. Like that game and it has expanded into something that is so much bigger than what people are giving it credit for. Whenever it just started out as a
yeah,
sandbox pirate ship game, this game has full blown campaigns, has like a full blown RPG system almost where you can go and collect and become a legendary pirate and collect crazy treasure and do all these things on top of the built-in sandbox where somebody can just jump you and take all your stuff. You know what I mean? So the fact that people are trying to like downplay games like that, games like Grounded, that caters to children, that has 10 million players, that was built by 12 people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
we got to stop. These ponies got to stop with this like narrative that's been happening since 2017, where they're talking about these games. That what do you mean? Everything, it doesn't have to be this third person, over the shoulder, action narrative driven game. Not everybody plays that. Not everybody cares about that. If that
Power
was the
Man,
case, more than
you're being
10% of people would be
Power
buying
Man,
these PlayStation games, bro. You know what
Power
I'm
you're being
Man,
saying?
a
now
little toxic right now, Power Man. We don't like to say pony. We don't like to say third person over the shoulder because
but
when you say third person over the shoulder, it leads people to think pony, and it leads
I
people
mean,
to think toxic
these
against
donkeys,
PlayStation.
these mules, whatever you
yes.
want.
Just
But
saying.
again, but again, like the main idea of what I was trying to say is that there is clearly a management issue going on, I think, at Xbox Game Studios, because if you don't have any idea of how the game is gonna work and how you're going to do that idea that you have no idea at all, why did you announce it at first? But don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see what Rare is going to work on with Everwild, but I really hate the fact that how much time do I have to wait for that game to be
Well,
released now? Like it's the same situation. Like for example, I am still complaining that In Exile games and as well as Composure games were acquired in 2018 and they haven't announced anything. But I think it's much better for them to not have announced anything if their game is still at early stages. I
they
think
took a
this
page out of Sony's book. I mean, they showed Days Gone. Was it like 3 or 4 years before we even got to play the game?
yeah, but still, I don't know. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't mind the
just
game being shown before it's ready. I
yeah.
just I just hate that when I heard the thing with Everwild, um, that they had a combat system that they couldn't get working. They tried to change it. When they changed it, it wasn't working and it was too convoluted. So they decided to scrap it and they got a new game director.
Yeah.
That right there, yeah, I can't defend that and say, well, no, I mean everybody gets a new. No, 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 no. You don't get rid of a game director in the even if you're in 2/3 of the way or 1/3 of the way, excuse me, of in development of a game. To me, that sounded like a managerial issue with that, and that's why they got rid of that director. But me personally, I don't mind seeing the game being announced early. If it's like 5 years, like, hey, this is what we're working on, I'm fine with that. Show me a brief little teaser. I'm fine with that. And in a couple of years, you show me something else, but I want to see something actually in the game. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I think that they did have a knee-jerk reaction to the fact that people complain a lot about seeing games that are out into the future, and not all of us have the same viewpoint. And even though you have the loud minority will say something, I think that what they have to learn to do is Xbox is going to have to learn to do what PlayStation does, and just say, like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. What we show you is what we're going to show you, and you're just going to have to take it like that. I mean, we can't continue to go by what the fans say, like they say in football. If you start listening to the fans, you're gonna be sitting with the fans. So I don't think that, as far as gamers are concerned, gamers are such a fickle, spoiled, selfish bunch, and I'm one of them. I'm a little older, so I'm not as fickle, and I understand a lot more about the industry now, only because of Twitter and being on podcasts and talking to developers. But I wish the industry did a better job of teaching people how things worked. I think if they did, they would have less problems like this. But since it's a very ambiguous thing, people just automatically just assume everything is like everything else. I remember somebody brought up the analogy like, well, movies don't do that. Yes, they do. We just don't have as much invested in movies. So when a movie gets delayed, we're like, all right, that's just it. We move on because we got a bunch of other movies. But at the same time,
music. I mean, every other industry
yeah,
has these
everybody
issues.
has delays. But I think in gaming, since gaming is such a addictive, great media, especially for us who've grown up with games, we can't wait to play these new experiences. And I think some of the mindset of first party is a little overblown on how it's treated, as far as because remember, we used to get exclusives every 3 years, at least from PlayStation. Now everybody's expecting them every year. Now listen, I understand with the subscription service and everything, so I understand that, but there's no level of patience at all. Like, all right, we just started this a couple years ago. Even Netflix, Hulu, and everybody else had to start out with really bad content. I mean, really bad content until it got to be the Netflix it is today. Hulu's still okay, but it's better than what it used to be. And HBO Max is HBO Max. So it does take some time, but I will admit this though, like KY said, if once the dam is broken and you get this deal done with Activision, it will be raining games till games come out of your ears.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, Bob here is not planning on having to pay for Diablo 4. I'm planning on launching that shit on Game Pass with my middle finger in the air to everybody who doesn't have it.
That's my most hype. That's my most hype game. Easily,
really?
That's easily my dude, I got hundreds, if not thousands, of hours in Diablo. I almost platinumed it on PS5. I almost got all the achievements on Xbox. You know what I mean? Yeah, I killed that game, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Diablo. So Diablo 4, first off, looks amazing. That game is going to come out polished. You know what I'm saying? It's going to look good. Listen, a lot of other developers can learn a little bit from Blizzard. I know that they got a lot of stuff going on, but the one thing they know how to do, they know how to ship a game and they know how to polish it. I'm telling you, go back to Overwatch, right? Overwatch won Game of the Year and had a multiplayer mode only. This game won Game of the Year and had no campaign. It had no other story mode other than quick play and competitive, and won Game of the Year for that year. Why? Because it was so good of a game, man. And so I think that Xbox internally needs to stop listening to people on Twitter and just go and say, hey, listen, we're going to trust our developers. We're going to trust our writers. We're going to trust our, all the people that go into making these games. And expect, like Halo, for instance, right? Stop listening to the old fan base and make
Yeah.
Halo how you envisioned it to be. Stop going on Twitter and listening to people. If you want to play the old Halo, listen. Anybody who's listening to this,
Master Chief Collection.
Chief Collection
Yes, sir.
exists. It
And it's still
exists
good.
for a reason, and they're literally right now still updating it. But
Yes,
I
sir.
personally, coming from a guy who has several thousand hours in Halo 3 on Xbox 360, I would love for Halo to evolve into something that would be like monumentally crazy. Did anybody see that video of that raw footage that 343 was using, where Chief was like moving in through the caves, through the rocks, and all that kind of stuff? Anybody see that stuff shared on
No,
Twitter?
I didn't see that one.
I mean, I would love a dynamic campaign like that, where you were like, bouncing in and out of first person and swooping around and really getting into Chief and like diving into that stuff. I'm telling you, man, it has so much potential. They just need to put their heads down. Whoever's in charge needs to put a little backbone and say, "Hey guys, listen, we're getting it done." You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put our heads down and get it done. And I think that's what Xbox needs, a little bit more of that. Not too much, but a little bit more of that. You know what I mean? To get it going.
Shout out to Boba Fett Gaming and Fun Speculation in the chat. And a little earlier, I didn't want to cut anybody off, but we had
What's going on, guys?
come
Sorry, I'm
in
not
and
looking at the
say
chat.
go. But back to what you all were saying. So I think Xbox's biggest issue with their first showing of a game to the release of their game is that that's all we get is that first showing, and then we're just kind of left to wonder, and then we get to the next show and we're all anticipating, well, we're going to get more of Everwild, or we're going to see a little more of this other, and it doesn't happen. And then when you come to find out, oh, that's, it's not until you haven't seen what you were expecting is when you find out, oh, well, they changed directors and the team is going in a different direction and the game is going in the different direction, and that Xbox is doing horrible on that front. I want to,
Mhm.
I have to be honest with you, and I think other than Turn 10, I think the best studio that Microsoft has under their umbrella, other than Turn 10, is Undead Labs. Because Undead Labs is they do a show every month, letting everybody know where they're at, what's still coming to State of Decay 2, where they're at with State of Decay 3. Even when State of Decay 2 hadn't even been released yet, we were still getting updates and still getting looks and details and all these
State
other.
of Decay is my favorite Xbox IP outside of Halo.
Yes.
Love State of Decay.
Dude, I got
I
27 days worth in State of Decay 2.
Yeah,
27
I need to look at mine. I know it's crazy. I know mine's crazy. I love that guy. I can't wait for 3. Can't wait.
That's the only thing that was missing in 2 was like infected wildlife. Because other than the people in it, there was no wildlife anywhere. It was like,
Nowhere.
what's going on?
Nope.
Did they kill it?
Yeah. I was wondering, I was like, it would have been cool if we had to hunt for some of our own meat and everything like that. I thought that would have been cool, but to have it even infected, I think that's a great idea itself right there. When I saw the trailer, I know it's just a trailer. I don't really get geeked off like I used to when I was a kid, but man, I got geeked up then because I really love State of Decay.
Yeah. When that deer was eating that wolf and it looked up at you with half a face, I was like, oh yeah,
I was like, oh, okay.
Now.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's hope this new one is server based and not peer to peer, because we saw how that went.
I can't stand P2P. I really can't, because they got that on Outriders, and I can't stand it. And I think that's one of the reasons why the connections are so unstable. P2P stinks.
It's the same with Elden Ring. If the person that you're playing with, because you can't do any. It's not like in Elden Ring where you can redo things. You can't redo something you've already done.
Yeah.
You have to join the other person's game to help that person go through that stuff that you've already done. And if that other person doesn't have a very good upload speed, you're not
Yep.
playing very long.
Everybody's screwed.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd say we're about halfway through our show. Everybody, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think we could change or make better. On to our next topic. You guys got anything?
Wait a second.
No,
What do you
go-
mean you
go
guys
right
got
ahead.
anything? E3 is coming back.
I do have one.
That
I
was
saw Skull and Bones today.
a
And
joke. It was a joke.
oh, okay, all right. Hey.
Hey, props to
mean-
two of our panel members just throwing some subjects out there like that. Though. You know what I mean? That's when you know a podcast is informed, gentlemen.
Yeah, you know,
yeah.
and I gotta hand it to him. He did not, because I threw out the joke there.
He didn't miss a
and
beat.
He did not waste any time. As soon as I got done talking, he was like, "Oh well, we could talk about this, right?" No, that is, we're thinking on the same level. That is our next topic. So we got a look at Skull and Bones, and I've seen people, how Twitter is. I've seen people. Everybody wants to see a game kill another game, and I've seen this as the
I don't know why.
killer.
This one's already dead.
I don't know why. Like, why can't you have more than something else if it's good? Like, I remember Killzone was supposed to be the Halo killer. Like, why? Let it just be Killzone.
Yeah.
No. But the problem is that when it comes to Skull and Bones, is the fact that for what it seems to be, they are trying to do a Sea of Thieves like game, but with the mechanics of the shipping in Assassin's Creed 4. I think that's their idea. And like, okay, you're not going to be original at all. Really?
You didn't see the new information on it today?
Yeah,
Not
they
at all.
released a new video.
I'm sorry, boys. I was dealing with something called
Yeah,
Final
I'm sorry. We're sorry. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, but I just wanted to let you know before, because we had the conversation too. Remember last week when we were like, "Nah, man, I'm not feeling this game," and I said the same thing, and I was with you, and everything you were saying just now, I was with that. What I saw today has changed my mind. It actually looks like it could be a competent game. I'm not saying it's going to be a great game. I'm not even saying it's going to be a good game, a competent game. So in other words, more niche, or I would say like that. Like certain people don't like me. I don't dump on Sea of Thieves because it's got a base, but it's not for me.
Would you say
But-
that? Go.
But that one this one is more realistic as far as what you have to do as a pirate, and it has a lot of intricacies of being a captain. Being able to ship your loot and be able to upgrade your ship, of course, as usual. But at the same time, it's a lot more going on besides just the battles at sea. You have to you could kill animals to sell the pelts. It's a lot. It's way more than I thought it was going to be. I did not think it was going to be this intricate at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. It's got my interest at least. Now it's got my interest. I don't forget about games, and I don't dump on games, but I don't dismiss them. But this one has now moved up to officially to. All right, keep my eye on this one. Okay.
Oh yeah.
See what happens.
I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it because what it has going for it. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't think it's going to be better than Sea of Thieves because, to be honest with you, if Sea of Thieves had ever fulfilled their promise and given us private servers so that me, myself, and only my friends could go on adventures and not have to worry about every douche out there griefing us for the treasure we're trying to carry back to port. If we had been given the private servers, I'm going to be honest with you, I'd probably at least be playing Sea of Thieves once a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, don't be wrong. It's got some of the best HDR we've ever seen in the game. The water animation and
I've
hunting
seen that.
around on
I did
hunting
see that.
around
It
on
does
an
look great.
island with your friends and with shovels, trying to figure out using clues where this treasure's buried at on this island. That's cool. But when you get back to, well, like, say, you got somebody on your, you got somebody down low, or somebody checking the map while somebody's on the sails and you're behind the wheel, and it's really cool to like be with your friends out on a big, like, galleon just sailing the open sea, and then you run into that asshole that's just out there to sink you, or you've done like 3 treasure missions and you come back with 3 chests, and you try to get, you're going into port to go turn in your loot so that everybody benefits,
Somebody
and you
rob
got
you.
these douchebags that are just circling the island that the port's on, and
Yep.
That's
Yep.
like
I mean,
that's
it's a
almost it
griefer's
almost sounds like the
paradise.
division. It almost sounds like the division in the Dark Zone.
But back to what I was saying, you're right, Bushido. It does. It sounds like the division. But what Skull and Bones has going for it is customization that is not just visual. I mean, you're going to be able to customize so much. It looks like in Skull and Bones, and it's actually going to be a beneficial customization, and it's going to be very expressive, which we've not seen a lot of that in Sea of Thieves. But do I think that Skull and Bones is actually going to be supported and continued by Ubisoft the way Rare has done? No, I don't.
If they make money, I think they will, because Ubisoft is greedy as EA. What do you think, Power Man? Do you get a chance to see it yourself?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I listen. I put, you know, I'm not as big of a Ubisoft basher as like a lot of people. I just finished Assassin's Creed Origins. I've been playing Far Cry 6. So I like some of their games, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I can't totally dunk on them. However, I'm not I do understand that they do drop some stinkers, and they do make some crazy moves, bro. Like the whole NFT stuff. I mean, them diving into that
Yeah.
whole thing, and then
Oh, there goes that money part I'm talking about. They're greedy.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like that game, I mean, looking at it right now, I look at it from a position of games like that would require huge Twitch numbers and huge interaction by like notable influencers to become large enough
Right.
to take people off of something like Apex or Fall Guys or whatever these top battle royales that are going on right now.
Right.
They're stepping into the ring with those type of people, getting them off of these live service games that are well established, right? Walking into it with the Ubisoft reputation of not having the best business practices and stuff. So maybe they understand that. Hopefully they do. I've seen it done fairly well. I really love the First Division. I played a lot of the First Division.
Oh
Love
yeah.
that
So
game. I spent a lot of time in the Dark Zone, bro. So like, whenever they do stuff, they have the potential to do it well. Rainbow Six Siege is another success story that got turned around. But yeah,
Siege is a great game. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to trash on games before they come out. I mean, I'm just saying that I don't see Skull and Bones setting the world on fire. But I think it may be competent enough to find somewhat of a player base. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
How big that player base is, like you said,
Yeah,
depends on how much money they actually bring in and start making. I mean,
it does.
Right.
It
How
does.
good
And
the game actually is. Yeah.
and shout out to Fun Speculation in the chat. Yes, I do understand that's part of the game, but also where you
What did Matt say? I didn't see it.
Mav said when I was talking about getting griefed when you come back in for treasure,
Oh, what did he say?
Mav said, "I'm that asshole." Oh,
Yep.
he said, when I play, I'd rather just have fun hunting for ships. He said it's part of the game. And
That's
then
what I was gonna say. I will admit that I wasn't one for the Dark Zone briefing, but when the Division 2 came out, I started getting into the concept. I still really like having, like I put it this way, I always put myself in other people's shoes, and I know how it feels if I'm working hard for something and somebody takes it. I don't like that feeling, but I started understanding people's likes towards that because of the fact that it was a little more fun than I thought it would be. But you got to be built like that for the division. If you're not that dude, if you don't have that kind of build, you do not go inside that arena. Nah, mm-mm. You go get
and
your stuff there, but that's it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I totally agree with what Mav is saying because I mean, yes, to each their own. If that's what you like, then you should have the ability to do that. But at the same time, over a year ago, they told us about private servers where we
Yeah,
could have that isolated experience with our friends, and we've never gotten it. So
yeah. There are some promises
Yeah.
that
Well,
Xbox
wasn't that Pirates of the Caribbean campaign? Wasn't that like its own set instance that it didn't have? What right? Wasn't it like its own campaign thing that you could play?
Not like
Or
just
am I
specific,
mistaken?
just specific regions. Not like it wasn't a private server. It was just specific regions. When you go to the land of the dead, when you invade Davy Jones' fortress, those regions are only you and your crew, no one else. But
Mhm.
when you go, but the rest of the map, of the normal map in Sea of Thieves, when you leave those regions, is normal Sea of Thieves.
Okay. So as soon as you dip out into another area, it's game on, basically.
yeah,
It's game on.
That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
I heard that Davy Jones has a nice singing voice. Is that true? Or he's a really nice guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
depends. It depends
Depends on his
whether or
day and
not
his
you
mood.
hear it after you're already underwater or if you hear it before you go under. It depends.
Oh, okay.
You
All
know,
right.
it's no wonder that PC players love that Sea of Thieves so much. A bunch of trolls. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, please.
They all about that shit. No wonder.
I
They're
just,
sitting up
Hey,
there in their full
I just
setups and
wanna
their $5,000 PCs.
Their
again.
super pajamas on.
I got a
Guess what?
$3,000 PC. What are you saying?
Whatever.
I just
He
wanna.
said
I just.
5,000 is like the full. It was when you go in full nerd, man. Like you can't. You know what I mean? Like once you
Yes,
once you
sir.
commit to that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to point out the fact that Sea of Thieves at least has the option for me to not play with PC players, different from something like Halo
Really? Does
Infinite, for
it?
example.
Oh, wow. I wish we had that in. What's the name of that game?
Halo
Halo?
Infinite, Halo Infinite,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
God,
that
yeah.
was
We
really
need to be able to
was
shut that
released.
shit off.
I
I don't care if there's. I
Man,
don't
I
care if
can't
there's
stand
30
that.
people playing Halo, as long as they're all on Xbox.
Yes.
Get them cheating, hacking PC players up out of my gaming experience, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why.
I agree.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to be. Listen, I'm not Mr. Kumbaya with this shit. I like my Xbox and I like playing with Xbox players. Y'all can keep that PC shit way away from me, bro. I don't want nothing to do with it. I've already been down that road and I've tried the PC game, and it's just not for me, bro. I'm not a PC gamer, bro. I've tried
Now,
it.
would you?
Um,
Now, I just want to make you one question, Parman. Would you prefer for us to call you now Kumbaya Man or Power Kumbaya 4K?
no,
Oh, we're calling him
I've heard
this,
Kumbaya
Kumbaya, man.
4K.
listen, there's zero kumbaya from this guy. Okay, I'm not. I ain't about it. I'm okay with them having our games. That's fine. But they can play. They can hold hands over there, and they can all hack and cheat each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree too.
you keep. You know what I'm saying? You keep
I don't have
this up
anybody
here.
problem playing the Xbox game, but all that other stuff, nah. Listen, one thing I will give them: the modding for like single player games or games that don't, isn't called for cheating. The modding is so freaking good for PC guys, but
Yeah.
everything else, nah, I'm not for all that cheating and modifying stuff so I could do this and make these certain things so I could do that. Nah, I'm all right.
And see, that's the thing too. Is like, yo, like when you talk about mods, like when you think about it realistically, when you look at like a Series X, Like a Series X is basically a high-end PC with an APU. So what's holding them back from just adding mods? It already supports mouse and keyboard, and then give
I
people the
agree.
option. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like, hey,
absolutely agree.
you want to
Wait,
mod, you want to
wait.
mod your games and forego achievements, then have at it. Plug in a mouse and
Actually,
keyboard
eh,
and get to it. You know what I'm saying?
not just that, but we already got to the point of having mods in consoles because the Skyrim Special Edition on Xbox One had the option for you to put mods in your game
Yes.
on
Yeah,
console.
that's why I said that, because if you play
Yeah,
Skyrim with the obviously you forego achievements, you're basically playing a modded version of the game. Um,
exactly.
you know, but I'm
I'm
sorry,
all
man.
right with that.
Like I said, I got nothing against PC gamers, right? I'm cool. Y'all,
Yeah,
whatever.
me
You know what
too.
I'm saying? You guys got your CS:GOs and you got your Dotas or
Oh,
whatever. You know what
really?
I'm saying? Y'all can stay up. Y'all can stay up on
Y'all?
that.
It's like that, y'all.
Hey,
Yep.
listen, man. Listen, like that
This is
Kumbaya shit. That
this is
Kumbaya
Mr.
shit is stay
Kumbaya,
way
bro.
over there,
This
bro.
is
You know what I'm
this is
saying?
Listen
Mr.
here,
Kumbaya talk.
motherfucker. My real-time strategy games belong on my PC with my mouse.
Hey, listen. I play XCOM on Xbox, and it is glorious, bro. I got no problem with it, bro.
You
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
you're playing
Oh,
XCOM,
you
which
love
is a
XCOM too? Uh-oh.
turn-based
Yeah, bro.
real-time
Yeah, I love
strategy.
XCOM, bro.
I'm talking about some
Man of
Command
culture
and
right there.
Conquer, some
And
Total War,
the
some
best
Age of
part,
Empires, Halo War shit.
the
Well, yeah, but
best
like
part,
look at Total War. Like look at that's just on PC Game Pass, bro. There's no reason why they can't just drop that on the Series X, man. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Where's it at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You know, you get achievements
give
on
us
PC
stuff
Game
like that.
Pass too.
I just
Yeah,
wanna put, I just
that's
want, I
all
just
right.
wanna point out that this all started with us talking about Skull and Bones for you to like try to notice like how important Skull and
We're down
Bones
a
is.
rabbit hole.
We just
Yep.
said fuck it. We're not gonna talk about that at all. We're gonna talk about other shit now. Like we know
Yeah,
about
Hey,
we
I
went
will. I
right down
will
the rabbit
say.
hole on
I
that one.
will. I will say this, man. I have been loving this whole like new crossplay shit, bro. 'Cause I'm telling you right now, when I talk about, I'll be smashing on these PlayStation dudes on these multiplayer games, bro. Woo! I tell you, and there was an article talking about like the Xbox gamers were inherently better. You guys remember that? They're inherently
Yep,
better at
yep,
video games, and
yep.
Pony's got hella mad about that. That shit.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, man. Listen, listen. I could tell them Sony dudes been used to playing these over the shoulder, slow rolling games
yep. That's
because
why. Yeah,
those reaction times ain't with it, man. I'm just telling you, man. Like, I cross play against them on Apex and stuff like that. I'm telling you, man, I get smacked on a regular basis. So
And if anybody out there has
Mm.
forgotten, I would like to reintroduce you to Power Man 4K, our resident warrior.
hey, listen, man. It's on my. I wear it on the sleeve, bro. You know what I mean? I'm the warrior class in D&D. Okay, I don't play no games. I'm right in the
There
thick
you
of it.
go.
Oh yeah, but when you heard Wolverine was coming out on PlayStation, you was ready to jump ship.
Oh yeah, I got my PS5.
No, I
sitting
ain't mad
right
at
there,
that.
bro.
I can understand that.
My PS5 sitting right there. Wolverine is my
you.
dude, bro.
You can be sure. You can be sure that Parma just tore his house up after the Wolverine was announced. Fuck
Oh
it.
my god!
Oh
And listen,
goodness.
and you guys remember, ever since I know it's been a while since it's been on this podcast, I have been adamant and begging for a Marvel DC. Give me Spawn. Give me Savage Dragon. Give me Hulk. Give me
Oh, I love
somebody.
Get
Give me
Savage Dragon. That would
oh
be
yeah,
cool.
Savage Dragon will be dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then give me something like that on the Xbox, exclusive to that console. You know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
gonna lie. I'm
Almost
not
like a what's a Crackdown used to be,
Yeah,
cartoonish but
yeah.
super fun.
not
Like
gonna lie.
over
I'm
the
not gonna
top,
lie.
over the top open world where you can just like bounce around like Savage Dragon did. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
stopping crimes or doing whatever, man. Make it
I,
fun. You know what I mean?
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I'm not
Back
gonna
to
lie.
Crackdown though, you know, I actually like that
That's what I said, like
Terry
Crackdown.
Crews more than I like the real life Terry Crews.
Yeah. I
Really?
mean,
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Crackdown had potential, man. Like I said, that's another one of those things that is in my opinion. Because remember when Crackdown 2 on the 360 was successful, bro. It did.
Yes,
It
it
was
was.
a dope game. I remember
The
that
problem
game.
was they let that they contracted that out. That was the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
And to me, I would if they asked me, or a bunch of gamers, should they continue on with the series? I think people would say yeah, but Just do it yourself. You handle it. Don't let another studio handle that and then take the abuse that you took for their failure, and they were contractors. So no, yeah, I would do
Yeah.
it that way. I would put one of my studios on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now with all the talent that they have, there is a lot of dormant IP that
Yeah.
Xbox could really dive deep, and it shocks me that they haven't. Listen, just because something wasn't successful 5,
One.
6, 8 years ago,
Right.
or one or two times, right? Like you were saying, like it does not mean that you cannot revive. Look. Okay, God of War 2018. God of War 2018 happened because God of War as a franchise was dying, bro.
Yeah.
God of War as a franchise, God of War Ascension that had dropped on the PSP
Don't
was
remember
the
that.
last thing, and they were starting. Sony was starting to ask, what are we doing with this franchise?
Bringing
The
back
sales are
horrible
dropping.
memories from the past.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people forget that. So the reboot to 2018 was out of necessity, not
Yeah.
out of something that they
Somebody sat and put it up. Yeah. Somebody
Exactly.
was like, "Hey, I got a better idea for it."
And I'd be willing to bet that everybody knows the famous thing whenever they said they sent God of War to Shuhei Yoshida and he sent it back, said it was trash, right? I guarantee they were trying to send him that same old formula, and he said, Nope, I need something
Yeah.
new, I need something better
You know,
than what you're giving me, because this is just gonna go out there and it's gonna fail. And guess what happened? They got God of War 2018. They weren't even sure if it was going to be successful, and it ended up exploding. That's what we need to see from
Yeah.
Xbox. They could take
Well-
something like Crackdown 3 or
And then
whatever and turn it
rebrand
into
it.
a
Yeah.
successful
I mean,
franchise, bro.
So Xbox themselves didn't do it, but
No.
they
Yeah.
they bought, or they are in the process of getting a studio.
Oh,
that
you
took
talking about
that by
Activision
the
Blizzard?
horns.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah. Yep.
I honestly think that if we didn't get the God of War reboot in 2018, we would have. We got the Wolfenstein reboot. We got the new Doom. These were
Oh,
not
the new Doom was a
sequels.
masterpiece.
These were reimaginings,
These-
and they were
Mhm.
good. I mean, they were really, really good. God of War started that. It really did.
But I
Yeah.
mean, it's imagining but keeping the main assets of the originals, because Dune still is an FPS. It's over the top violence. It has awesome soundtrack, just like the previous Dooms. The God of War 2018, even though it's a great game, it changed a lot of the mechanics that we had before as a hack and slash.
Well,
Yeah,
Doom changed a lot of the mechanics
Yeah.
too. With
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
with
the
melee,
ever
you get
parkour,
more health,
But it-
more
the
ammo, and
parkour,
ammo.
all
But
the
it continued
parkour
to
you
be
do
an
in Doom
FPS.
alone. You know what I mean?
But it continues to be an FPS. Like, I mean, I think in the case of Doom, it is a reimagine, but it's not a remake.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
Well,
God of
God
War,
of
I would
War
say
is a
was an
complete
isometric
remake.
action RPG, right? It was a fixed camera action RPG, and they went from that to a fixed one shot RPG with some RPG mechanics, right? What I think changed the most was the aesthetic of the game, right? The actual aesthetic of the game, like Kratos, the Norse environment, and all these things. These are things that Xbox could get creative with and take a franchise. Since we're talking about Crackdown, for instance, and say, let's do what Cyberpunk tried to do. Let's do what Cyberpunk tried to do, but do it in third person and give you full range superhero powers to run around a big futuristic dystopian city and just go crazy with it, right? And let's not rely on cloud infrastructure. Let's focus on our hardware and really push something like the Series X with 12 T-flops, that we haven't even seen a game that is truly pushing these consoles. So
No.
far, we haven't seen one.
No.
The only true next generation game that is quote unquote not on something else, in my opinion, was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, right? And that game could easily be on a PS4. They just don't want to do it because I feel like they either don't want to do it or they're scared to do it, or it's already in the works. My guess. I would not be surprised if we don't
You
see that
cannot
game on
play
PC.
Flight
I think-
Simulator on Xbox One.
Yeah, I think it's
Well, Well, via the
Actually,
cloud,
with
though, right?
cloud, yeah, via the cloud, I think that's an option. But like considering that when it comes to next generation, I think the game that first of all started it all it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I think we are really going to have a big advancement with next gen games is the year when the new Forza Motorsports gets released, both
Yeah.
for PlayStation and Xbox. I think that's whatever year Forza Motorsports get released, that is the year that I think that both PlayStation and Xbox is going to release some serious games that are going to be to make you think, holy shit, this is next gen. Like the same feeling that we had when we all played Rise Son of Rome, when we all played the Killzone Shadowfall. You know what I mean? I didn't play Killzone Shadowfall, but for what I seen people saying, that game has amazing graphics. You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
was good. It was good visually. It was just everything else was kind of subpar. You know,
Uh huh.
the Order 1886 was
Yeah.
basically
I
just a
thought that was a really
showpiece.
good looking game.
Yeah, beautiful game, but it didn't have a lot of meat on the bones, if you will.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
It had a
and
lot. Now that's a game you want to talk about. Like, look, you failed on that one, but how about going back and see why you failed? Because
yeah,
it wasn't that the game and the mytho, first of all, is fantastic, but
yeah,
the game itself wasn't bad because it was bad. It was bad because it was short, and then you were missing certain type of elements that kept the game from feeling repetitive. You go in and fix that, you got yourself a good game.
yeah,
This is true.
yeah. I agree.
Speaking
Yeah.
facts, love it. And Fabio, shout out to Thimber in the chat. You're gonna have to get another job if you want the new NBA game. Just saying.
By the way, the edition that he's talking about is the Michael Jordan edition, which has all the DLCs. The game actually is 350 Brazilian reais, which is equivalent to $70. The
Ooh,
normal
burn Thimber, burn. But I can see Thimber's point
price.
though.
But yeah,
Michael
How
Jordan
it's
is the
how are
greatest,
they
and I
allowed
wasn't his
to?
edition.
So if you
it's
buy something
expensive.
digitally in your country, is it still that price?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes,
gonna say too. Really?
yes, it is. It is because we are first of all they are converting the dollar to Brazilian reais, and $1 is 5 Brazilian reais.
Yeah, but it's
And
Yeah, but
digital
if
though.
you don't have to do the transporting of the game and
yeah,
getting it into the country, like digitally, you would think that it would be cheaper.
no, doesn't matter. The price if the price of the game is $70 digitally,
Yeah, I can get it.
price
Yeah.
in
Okay,
Brazil
let
is
me ask you
also
this,
going to
Fabio.
be
How much are games on Steam in your country compared to in America? Do
for
they
fuck's sake.
change?
Uh, they do
Just
change. I don't,
because
I
I'm
don't,
curious.
I actually don't know. I don't use Steam. I actually don't use Steam. I don't know that theory, but for what I seen, Steam is actually the cheapest way for you to buy games. Actually,
Interesting. Yeah, that makes me wonder because Steam um, is used. I would argue probably a little bit more internationally because the PC is used in heavier places like Korea and certain parts of Asia, right? Like that's almost exclusively what they use, like in South Korea, for instance. So it makes me wonder, like, why um, these companies. I'm assuming that's Sony included, right? Like, so they're adding these taxes onto these digital games. When, in
no,
my opinion, if you can buy a game on a storefront digitally and not have to ship it, send it on a boat, and package it and do all the things that you have to do with physical copies of games, it doesn't make any sense to me why it would
no.
cost more. You know what I mean?
It's not just that. It's because our currency value is just dropping each day.
Hmm.
Like there was a moment where $1 got to 6 Brazilian reais at one point. We are now stuck with 5, and I miss the times when I only had to worry about $1 being 2 Brazilian reais. But now that was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. Believe me, everybody's feeling the inflation, bro. That's for sure. I
Because you
mean,
stopped
Yeah,
growing
but
ganja.
worse than
That's what it
theirs.
was.
Theirs is really bad. Like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I
Things are
bought my.
different. Does anyone wanna buy me a apartment, a passage, and tickets to go to the United States and live there forever? Does anyone want to do
man.
that for me?
I think we can get a GoFundMe for that going.
Yeah, I'll say yeah. We can talk to the community, bro. You know what I mean? Get you up here. You know.
No, just kidding, just kidding, just
But
kidding.
yeah, it is crazy because I wiped something for our wedding anniversary in a couple weeks, and I got it from the UK, and it was going to be after shipping $149 from the UK, but that's in British
Yeah.
pounds. That's in British pounds. I wound up paying over $220 after I converted it to the US dollar.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god.
I mean, one of a great way for me to buy cheaper games, but I need to wait some time to get it. Is not just wait for the right time when Xbox announces them as weekly sales, but as well as if I use a website like Nibo, which is really good.
You sound muffled right now.
Yeah, you were full right
I'm
there.
I'm so sorry. Is it better right now?
Yeah, it's better. You must have been
There we
ashamed
go.
of what you were saying. And you hid it under the cover.
No, maybe. No. It's just because, like, again, it's really late right now, and it's like almost midnight, and I cannot speak louder. But okay, like one of the ways that I can buy cheaper games is through Xbox weekly sales, and or their like holiday sales or something like that, or I can use it in Nimba for that.
Well, guys, I think this brings us to the end of our episode. It was awful. It was awful
It
good
was
chat. I mean, we got we
for
have the
real.
tendency to just start on one topic and wind up on the other side of the world as far as topics go.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said that, I heard it. That brings us to the end of the episode. It was awful. It was really. It was like,
No,
holy shit. I was really worried. I thought, holy
look.
crap,
I
people
love every minute
worried
on here
so
with you
shit.
boys, and I hope that everybody listening loves it too.
Probably was like we was doing the best we could, man. It was just it's a slow week.
Power Man. So Power Man brought up a good point before the show.
What was that?
Well, no. Bushido brought up a good point before the show,
Oh, I did.
and then Power Man reiterated it, and so Bushido was like, "Oh, we're not live." Because everything we talked for like 15
Yeah.
minutes before the show, and it would have been perfect for part of an episode because it was just like just a group of friends talking in a party chat, and looking back on it, it was probably something that everybody probably would have enjoyed, got a kick out of, and then Power Man was like, we should just like record like a party chat or whatnot, which gave me the idea of I'm going to start recording the 15 minutes before the episodes, and every month I may put the 4 15-minute clips from before the episode in an add-on show the first week of the next month.
You're gonna start a new trend now, Bobby.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, because some pretty cool shit goes on before the show. Because, like
Yeah.
Bushido said to me, when you get into the show, you're kind of following a script, you're kind of following an order, and things kind of seem a little robotic and tense. But before the show, it's loose, it's flowing, it sounds good, and
I'm,
Funny.
why can't
I'm
we let
sorry.
everybody else experience that?
I'm sorry, considering the way we talk and consider the way we just interrupt each other to talk shit, do you think this is that the way we talk about this following a script? The script says now I'm going
You
to
know
put
what I
one
mean.
right
List
here.
of topics. Come on, give me a break, boy.
Oh man.
Goodness.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, listen,
Oh.
I've heard some pretty crazy stuff on some live podcasts, bro. So like, I think that anything that we say is is probably pale in comparison. That's
Pretty
all.
tame. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard
I
some
mean,
stuff before too.
I've heard some pretty, you know what I mean. I listen to some dudes, bro, that got no problem, dropping some words and saying some things. So, um, just put it this way, I don't usually not have the headphones in whenever those podcasts are on. You know what I'm saying? I can't let the kids listen to those too
Oh
much.
yeah, oh yeah.
Jesus.
So, Mr. Bushido N7, which is a dead giveaway for Mass Effect fan.
Huge Mass Effect fan.
That's right. Where can people find you at, sir?
Well, you can find me here every Thursday on the KY Bobby Show. KY stands for the kind that you can buy over the counter.
Right, Jesus.
You can find me on Fridays.
It's not initials of a state or anything. It's lube, just lube.
What state would be KY? It's obvious that it's that stuff that you buy. It doesn't make sense, Bobby.
All right.
You trying to fool people? It's
A
not.
little
It's
bit,
not right,
a little
man.
bit.
It's not right.
I'm trying to deflect.
It's a little sus.
I'm doing a horrible job at deflecting.
But anyway, I'm on a show on Fridays, Doomsayer's Den, or Doomslayer's Den, and he's the Doomsayer. So that's every Friday at 6:30. I think this week's guest is Punk Soul. Anyway, so after that, I'm on the Spooky Sprocket Show also, and that's every Saturday at 8. But this week it'll be 7. And we have Fuzzy Belvedere as our guest. And you can find me on Xbox and Twitter underneath the same name, Mr. Bushido N7. Except on Xbox, it'll be Mr. Bushido's like stuck together because it wouldn't let me separate them. So
Bastard.
yeah, that was it. Same thing on PlayStation 2, yeah.
All right. And the Brazilian monster with all the hey eyes. Fabio, where can they find
You said the
at, brother?
Brazilian mobster? I like that.
He always calls me that. He always calls me that for some reason. But yeah, always glad to be here. Always nice to talk with you people. And you can find me not just here as a guest. Some weeks yes, some weeks not. Depends on how things in life are going. But glad to see that I managed to be here tonight. And you can find me as well on my podcast, the Expert Party Podcast. We have reviews, we have podcasts, we do live streams. I am also going to be doing some live streams. I intend also to be doing some gameplay videos as well. And especially, you can be sure that I will be there with way more content now that my semester is ending and I will be free from college to have some holidays.
Free at
And
last.
Yay.
Freedom.
for
Yay.
some time, a little bit of time to enjoy some vacations and working on content. As well as you can find me on Twitter as FBO at FBOAmorin97, as well as on Xbox as BullFunLizard8.
Awesome. We love having you too, brother. Power Man 4K.
Son of X51.
That's right. X51
Kumbaya,
to the fifth
Kumbaya,
power.
the one and only Kumbaya Man 4K, Power Kumbaya 4K. Yeah, there we go.
Son of
Power
Slayer.
Man
Score
4K.
himself.
Console warrior of the ages.
Gotta get you some ring intro music too.
I know, right? Yeah.
Where can people find you at on a regular basis?
You could. My name is Power Man, and you could probably find me in the Hornet's Nest on Twitter, kicking it repeatedly, trying to get these ponies riled up. If I'm not doing that, then I'm here on Thursdays at 9 p.m., which I'm hoping that I can make a definite, regular thing. It seems like I am settled back in. It's been a blast, chopping it up with you guys. Before we go, I do want to say that I definitely miss Lupa. I hope that she makes a full recovery. I've been thinking about her a lot ever since we found out about that, man, and I just really hope that she comes back. And you know, she's such a pillar in this community. You know what I mean? And was willing to chop it up with us and everything like that. So you know, I'm just praying for her. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was good to talk Xbox with you guys.
Awesome. And it's a really good thing that we're not that well known, because we'd be getting some of them really crazy chats thrown in there. And Lupa's
Oh,
our
I
only
can't wait.
And Lupa is our only moderator.
No,
so
no,
right
fuck
now
that.
it would just be
fuck that.
going.
No, we ain't moderating shit, bro. I want it all. All this stuff, you leave them right there. I'll handle every one of them, dog.
You want that smoke, huh?
All
Even
of
the porn site
all
links.
of it.
Oh yeah,
we could do without those. We ain't got no time. For
yeah.
that. But yeah, those little pencil neck ponies, they can come right on over here and talk to me, because
gosh.
I got something for them. Okay.
I like rattling their cage too, Power Man. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They can get to work all day. It doesn't matter. Like,
And this is your host, KY Bob. And I will say that this show is going to go through a transformation in the next 7 days. It will not look the same in any way next Thursday. Bob has got some things lined up, some cloud storage lined up. You will have gameplay in the background of the latest games and new stencil, everything. As I said when the show started, episode 1, it was going to be an evolving journey, and this is going to be the first large evolution. So if you want to see it, be a part of it, be here next Thursday. You can find me on Twitter, Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, YouTube, KY Bob, and every Thursday here hosting Game Set Live. Everybody that listened, it was great to see you all come out, and it was great to be seen by all y'all. Y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
I need to call the company up, see if I get you an endorsement with KY. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Dude, that would. It'd be like lubrication for their ear holes.
Yeah.